The word religion has been misconstrued over the years, more so because of the recent show of religion that's viewed in the Western culture. With so many religious traditions that people follow, there has been wars over what's right and who's wrong. This has been going on for thousands of years, well, at least that's the information that's given to the majority of the population. But what I can tell you from experience is there's some religions that don't like others. It baffles me that a person can dislike a person because of a religious tradition difference.
Celebrates the 7th Texas Muslim Capital Day. We are honored, thank you.
I proclaim the name of the Lord Jesus Christ over the capital of Texas. I stand against Islam and the false prophet Muhammad. Islam will never dominate the United States, and by the grace of God, it will not dominate Texas.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. It's okay. It's okay.
America was built on Christian principles.
Back side of the barrel.
Muhammad has no place on this hill.
Muhammad is dead. Muhammad is dead.
Oh, we don't want you.
Serve a risen Savior, Jesus Christ. He loved you.
Really? Is this why we're here? By looking at the world today, I definitely understand why people dislike the word religion. It doesn't have a good track record, and seemingly its meaning has changed as the years went by. Okay, let's see what Google says about religion. We're gonna go to the definition first, and then we'll go to the etymology of religion. So here it goes. The belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods. A particular system of faith and worship, a pursuit or interest to which someone ascribes supreme importance. Okay, let's look down here. It says the origins. It's Latin, religar, to bind. To bind. What is it binding to? Is a person bound? Or is it binding a person to it? So when they follow different religions, are they being bound to that religion? Religio, obligation, bond, reverence. And then it has the Middle English culture, life under monastic vows. Okay, to bind, obligation, life under monastic vows. So pretty much it's an obligation, something people feel obligated to. So they are serving something divine in a religion. I'm interested to see what monastic means, though. Let's check out the etymology, and then we'll see what monastic means. There we go. Etymology online. All right. By reading this, it seems like it changed throughout the times. But this right here, I guess is saying this is the 1200s. State of life bound by monastic vows. Also, conduct indicating a belief in a divine power. So, monastic vows. So you're vowing to this divine power. Then it goes on to say Old French religion, piety, devotion, religious community, and directly from Latin, religionum, religio, respect for what is sacred, reverence for the gods with an S. Conscientiousness, sense of right, moral obligation, fear of the gods. That word might be conscientiousness or conscientiousness, divine service, religious observance, a religion, a faith, a mode of worship, cult, sanctity, holiness, in late Latin, monastic life. So it's something about this word monastic. Monastic. According to Cicero, derives from religar or religere, go through again, in reading or in thought. From again. However, popular etymology among the later ancients, Servius, like Lactantius and Augustine, and the interpretation of many modern writers connected to religare, to bind fast, via notion of place an obligation on, or bond between humans and gods. In that case, the would be intensive. Another possible origin is religions, careful, opposite of negligence. I'm trying to get it right, y'all. Negligence. Okay, there we go. In English, meaning a particular system of faith, is recorded from C 1300 sense of recognition of an allegiance in manner of life, perceived as justly due to a higher unseen power or powers. To hold, therefore, there is no difference in matters of religion between forms that are unlike each other, and even contrary to each other, most clearly leads to the end of the rejection of all religion in both theory and practice. And this is the same thing as atheism. However, it may differ from in name. So atheism is pretty much a religion. It's the unbelief of something. You don't believe in God. So your belief is you don't believe in God. But anyway, this word religion is very interesting. And really this word monastic is very interesting. Let's look at that. Relating to monks, nuns, or other living under religious vows, or the buildings in which they live. That's interesting. Relating to monks, nuns, or others living under religious vows, or the buildings in which they live. This one says, relating to or characteristics of monks or nuns, their manner of life, and or their religious obligations. Relating to or characteristic of a secluded, dedicated, or austere manner of living. Okay, so they are using nuns and monks and how they live their life. You know, they devout themselves to different religions. So let's look at monasticism. Let's see what that means, monasticism. Monasticism or monkhood is a religious way of life in which one renounces worldly pursuits to devote oneself fully to spiritual work. Now, I think there's more people than monks, or they don't call themselves monks, that have devoted themselves to spiritual work. A lot of people say that they've devoted themselves to spiritual work and let go of worldly things. They don't call themselves monks or nuns. But I guess that's the widely known people that has devoted themselves to, give away worldly things and devote themselves to a spiritual work. So what's the etymology of monastic? Let's see here. It's a Greek word. Monazein means to live alone. To live alone. Getting very interesting. To live alone. So if we go back to the definition, it says, relating to monks or nuns or others living under religious vows, or the buildings in which they live. To live alone. So they live alone in these buildings. The only place that we devote to do spiritual work and we live alone is within this physical body. Wouldn't you say that? Don't we live alone? Because we don't live alone in no buildings. Whenever people, go to church, or, nuns are Catholic. So I don't think they go to church alone. Monks, I don't think they live alone. I think there's other monks among them. I don't think they live in their own buildings. I know the temple, we are the true church and we are the true temple. So wouldn't you say that the body that we are in is the house that we live alone in? Very, very, very interesting. So this religion is really one that devotes themselves to spiritual work within the physical body. So your physical body is your religion. Very, very interesting. So now that we know that religion is a monastic vow, well, according to the dictionary it is, and the etymology of monastic breaks down to mean live alone. And the only house that we live alone in is our physical bodies. Even with all the religions that have houses of God to assemble and work together in, they are all leading those that follow them to assembling and working on their own house of God. Meaning your physical body is the true religion that you are devoted to do spiritual work in. Why do spiritual work? Well, glad you asked. So that you can become God, actually mature and grow as God, in which I call the source of all. The name God has been used in vile ways over the past years. So I steer clear from it. Besides, the source of everything is greater than a name. The name makes it so compacted and boxed. You can't put a box on greatness of that magnitude, right? Well, sometimes it's necessary to box all that greatness up. Only so that the greatness in the box can mature and grow. The box is your religion that you devote to doing spiritual work in so that you can mature and grow. That's right. And you've been doing this for a while now. You have been in a religion since you were in your father and your mother, and now in the cosmic body. In your father, you had to be chosen to go into the mother by going up the straight and narrow path of the penis. In the mother, there's more free reign for you. So whenever you enter into your mother, there's more free reign. You have more paths that you can be taken, but only one is going to get you to the egg. Whenever you leave your mother in the cosmic body, there's much more free reign and free will for you to take many paths. But one must follow the straight and narrow path to the wound of the heart to get to the wound of the head mind. And once one has followed the path within self, one will eventually be chosen to find the path out of the cosmic body.
Sperm are produced and released by the male reproductive organs. The testes are where sperm are produced. The testes are linked to the rest of the male reproductive organs by the vas deferens, which extends over the base of the pelvic bone, or ilium, and wraps around to the ampulla, seminal vesicle, and prostate. The urethra then runs from the bladder through the penis. Sperm production in the testes takes place in coiled structures called seminiferous tubules. Along the top of each testicle is the epididymis. This is a cord-like structure where the sperm mature and are stored. The release process starts when the penis fills with blood and becomes erect. Continuing to stimulate the penis will cause an ejaculation. Mature sperm begin their journey by traveling from the epididymis to the vas deferens, which propels sperm forward with smooth muscle contractions. The sperm arrive first at the ampulla, just above the prostate gland. Here, secretions from the seminal vesicle, located next to the ampulla, are added. Next, the seminal fluid is propelled forward through the ejaculatory ducts toward the urethra. As it passes the prostate gland, a milky fluid is added to make semen. Finally, the semen is ejaculated from the penis through the urethra.
Fertilization is the epic story of a single sperm facing incredible odds to unite with an egg and form a new human life. It is the story of all of us. During sexual intercourse, about 300 million sperm enter the vagina. Soon afterward, millions of them will either flow out of the vagina or die in its acidic environment. However, many survive because of the protective elements provided in the fluid surrounding them. Next, the sperm must pass through the cervix, an opening into the uterus. Usually, it remains tightly closed, but here the cervix is open for a few days while the woman ovulates. The sperm swim through the cervical mucus, which is thinned to a more watery consistency for easier passage. Once inside the cervix, the sperm continues swimming toward the uterus, though millions will die trying to make it through the mucus. Some sperm remain behind, caught in the folds of the cervix, but they may later continue the journey as a backup to the first group. Inside the uterus, muscular uterine contractions assist the sperm on their journey toward the egg. However, resident cells from the woman's immune system, mistaking the sperm for foreign invaders, destroy thousands more. Next, half the sperm head for the empty fallopian tube, while the other half swim toward the tube containing the unfertilized egg. Now, only a few thousand remain. Inside the fallopian tube, tiny cilia push the egg toward the uterus. To continue, the sperm must surge against this motion to reach the egg. Some sperm get trapped in the cilia and die. During this part of the journey, chemicals in the reproductive tract cause the membranes covering the heads of the sperm to change. As a result, the sperm become hyperactive, swimming harder and faster toward their destination. At long last, the sperm reach the egg. Only a few dozen of the original 300 million sperm remain. The egg is covered with a layer of cells called the corona radiata. The sperm must push through this layer to reach the outer layer of the egg, the zona pellucida. When sperm reach the zona pellucida, they attach to specialized sperm receptors on the surface, which triggers their acrosomes to release digestive enzymes, enabling the sperm to burrow into the layer. Inside the zona pellucida is a narrow, fluid-filled space just outside the egg cell membrane. The first sperm to make contact will fertilize the egg. After a perilous journey and against incredible odds, a single sperm attaches to the egg cell membrane. Within a few minutes, their outer membranes fuse and the egg pulls the sperm inside. This event causes changes in the egg membrane that prevent other sperm from attaching to it. Next, the egg releases chemicals that push other sperm away from the egg and create an impenetrable fertilization membrane. As the reaction spreads outward, the zona pellucida hardens, trapping any sperm unlucky enough to be caught inside. Outside the egg, sperm are no longer able to attach to the zona pellucida. Meanwhile, inside the egg, the tightly packed male genetic material spreads out. A new membrane forms around the genetic material, creating the male pronucleus. Inside, the genetic material reforms into 23 chromosomes. The female genetic material, awakened by the fusion of the sperm with the egg, finishes dividing, resulting in the female pronucleus, which also contains 23 chromosomes. As the male and female pronuclei form, spiderweb-like threads, called microtubules, pull them toward each other. The two sets of chromosomes join together, completing the process of fertilization. At this moment, a unique genetic code arises, instantly determining gender, hair color, eye color, and hundreds of other characteristics. This new single cell, the zygote, is the beginning of a new human being. And now the cilia in the fallopian tube gently sweep the zygote toward the uterus, where he or she will implant in the rich uterine lining, growing and maturing for the next 9 months until ready for birth.
Okay, remember what's going on here. In each body, whenever the sperm cell gets to a certain point before it leaves the body, there's a fluid given to that sperm, or there is a reaction that takes place within that sperm in order for that sperm to understand where to go and what's taking place on the next stage. So in the father, there was a fluid given before it left the father. When that sperm gets to a certain point within the mother, there's a chemical reaction that takes place within that sperm cell to make it go faster and understand exactly where to go. So just like the sperm cell in your father and your mother and this big cosmic body that we're in, you are the sperm cell and just in a different form. And you are going down a path within yourself. You're going down a path. And once you get to a certain point in your path within, you will have an awakening, or there will be a reaction that will take place within you that will cause you to understand what path to take and what move to make. You will understand where to go. You will understand what path to take within this cosmic body. You will begin to understand what's going on beyond what you can see with your two eyes. And you will begin to get the information you need to go to the next stage or the next journey. Just like you knew within your mother and you knew within your father. It's a beautiful thing. But this is very important that you know this. Religions are places where energy goes to grow until the energy outgrows the place. These places give the energy a home. What do you do at home? You eat and you rest. Some energy takes a while to outgrow the home. But when the energy has outgrown the home, one would know it and seek for more and more expanded place to reside and grow. The whole time that you have traveled through those bodies, you've gained a bigger body. But all those bodies were religions. Even the physical body that you are in is a religion. The cells that you house are in a religion. You are a cell to the cosmic body's religion. And even if you expand beyond this cosmic body, you are still in the source of all's religion, with more free space to reign and more free will. But one must still follow that straight and narrow path to expansion. Much love.